Summary. This chapter is very difficult to grasp to its fullest. In chapter 4 verse 16, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, quote, "What is action, what inaction? Even the wise are bewildered here. I shall expound to you that action, knowing which you will be freed from evil." End quote. So, when Arjuna asks in verse 1, "Renunciation of actions, thou praisest, O Krishna. And then also yoga. Of the two which one is the better? That tell me conclusively." Through such profound questioning, Arjuna has shown himself to be wise, to have great foresight, and to have knowledge of Dharma. He will not act until he is sure of all the implications of his action. If it had not been for these questions of Arjuna's, the great wisdom of this chapter and the next would not have been revealed, and the discourse of the Lord would not have been complete. For this reason, those who seek the truth will always be indebted to Arjuna. In verse 2, the Lord said, "Renunciation and performance of action both lead to salvation, but of the two, karma yoga, performance, is better than sannyasa, renunciation." As Mahatma Gandhi says, "Man cannot completely refrain from karma, and therefore, it is easy for everyone to follow karma yoga." Renunciation of karma, on the other hand, is a difficult matter, for it requires knowledge, whereas karma yoga can be followed even by an ordinary person. To retire into a cave in the Himalayas and sit there forever doing nothing, it is extremely difficult to succeed in such an effort. It is a hard task to cultivate such stillness that one would not be tempted by anything even in one's thoughts. The Lord, therefore, tells us that karma yoga is a better path, since the other one is beset with obstacles and is likely to encourage hypocrisy, while the karma yogi runs no such risk. In verse 4, Krishna tells us that it is the ignorant who speak of Sankhya and Yoga as different, not so those who have knowledge. He who is rightly established even in one wins to the fruit of both. Sankhya here means renunciation and Yoga means karma yoga. Men of little understanding think them to be distinct from each other, but not so the wise. In truth, they are two sides of the same coin. Anyone who becomes established in either, reaps the fruit of success in the other, too. A thing at rest and another in intense motion seem alike, the earth, for instance. Rest and motion are a pair of opposites, but he who remains unaffected by such opposites reaps the fruit of both. Verses 11 to 13. A man established in divine union performs actions on the levels of the senses, mind, and intellect for the purification of his soul. Remaining in bliss within himself, he is uninvolved with action and its fruits. Verses 14 to 16. In reality, authorship of action does not belong to the doer. All action is performed by the force of nature. Under the spell of ignorance, the doer assumes authorship of action and becomes bound to its fruits. Knowledge brings the light of truth and dispels the darkness of ignorance. Verses 22 to 23. The joys of the senses are sources of sorrow, the enlightened man does not delight in them. The ability to resist the excitement of desire and anger is the criterion of a man in union. Verses 25 to 29. The principle of renunciation comprehends the same height of human perfection as is achieved by the path of action. I have used two excellent books in preparing the summary. The first one. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi on the Bhagavad Gita, a new translation and commentary with Sanskrit text. And the second one. The Bhagavad Gita according to Gandhi. Enjoy this lovely rendering by Sri Vidyabhushana.
अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यच्छेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् श्रीभगवानुवाच सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते सांख्ययोगौ पृथग्बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक् उभयोर्विन्दते फलम् यत्साङ्ख्यैः प्राप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरपि गम्यते एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुम् अयोगतः योगयुक्तो मुनिः ब्रह्मा न चिरेणाधिगच्छति ಸರ್ವಭೂತಾತ್ಮ ಭೂತಾತ್ಮ ಕುರ್ವನ್ನಪಿ ನ ಲಿಪ್ಯತೆ. ನೈವ ಕಿಂಚಿತ್ ಕರೋಮೀತಿ ಯುಕ್ತೋ ಮನ್ಯೇತ ತತ್ವವಿತ್. ಪಶ್ಯನ್ ಶೃಣ್ವನ್ ಸ್ಪೃಶನ್ ಜಿಘ್ರನ್ ಅಶ್ನನ್ ಗಚ್ಚನ್ ಸ್ವಪನ್ ಶ್ವಸನ್ ಪ್ರಲಪನ್ ವಿಸೃಜನ್ ಗೃಹ್ಣನ್ ಉನ್ಮಿಷನ್ ನಿಮಿಷನ್ನಪಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಾಣಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಾರ್ಥೇಷು ವರ್ತಂತ ಇತಿ ಧಾರಯನ್. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಾಧಾಯ ಕರ್ಮಾಣಿ ಸಂಗಂ ತ್ಯಕ್ತ್ವಾ ಕರೋತಿ ಯಃ ಲಿಪ್ಯತೆ ನ ಸ ಪಾಪೇನ ಪದ್ಮಪತ್ರಮಿವಾಂಭಸಾ. ಕಾಯೇನ ಮನಸಾ ಬುದ್ಧ್ಯಾ ಕೇವಲೈಃ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯೈರಪಿ ಯೋಗಿನಃ ಕರ್ಮ ಕುರ್ವಂತಿ ಸಂಗಂ ತ್ಯಕ್ತ್ವಾ ಆತ್ಮಶುದ್ಧಯೇ. ಕರ್ಮಫಲಂ ತ್ಯಕ್ತ್ವಾ ಶಾಂತಿಮಾಪ್ನೋತಿ ನೈಷ್ಠಿಕೀಂ ಅಯುಕ್ತಃ ಕಾಮಕಾರೇಣ ಫಲೇ ಸಕ್ತೋ ನಿಬಧ್ಯತೆ. ಸರ್ವಕರ್ಮಾಣಿ ಮನಸಾ ಸನ್ಯಸ್ಯಾಸ್ತೆ ಸುಖಂ ವಶಿ ನವದ್ವಾರೆ ಪುರೇ ದೇಹಿ ನೈವ ಕುರ್ವನ್ನ ಕಾರಯನ್. ನ ಕರ್ತೃತ್ವಂ ನ ಕರ್ಮಾಣಿ ಲೋಕಸ್ಯ ಸೃಜತಿ ಪ್ರಭುಃ ನ ಕರ್ಮ ಫಲ ಸಂಯೋಗಂ ಸ್ವಭಾವಸ್ತು ಪ್ರವರ್ತತೆ. येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषाम् आदित्यवज्ञानम् प्रकाशयति तत्परम्. तद्बुद्धयः तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठाः तत्परायणाः गच्छन्ति अपुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. शुनिचैव श्वपाके च पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः. इहैव तैः जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः. न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य च प्रियम् स्थिरबुद्धिः असम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. स्पर्शेषु असक्तात्मा विन्दति आत्मनि यत् सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखम् अक्षयम् अश्नुते. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः. शक्नोतीकैव यः सोढुम् प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात् ಸುಖೀ ನರಗ. ಸುಖೋ ಅಂತರಾರಾಮಃ ತಥಾಂತರ್ಜ್ಯೋತಿರೇವ ಯಃ ಸ ಯೋಗಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ನಿರ್ವಾಣಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭೂತೋಧಿಗಚ್ಚತಿ. ಲಭಂತೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ನಿರ್ವಾಣಂ ಋಷಯಃ ಕ್ಷೀಣಕಲ್ಮಷಾಃ ಛಿನ್ನದ್ವೈಧಾ ಯತಾತ್ಮಾನಃ ಸರ್ವಭೂತಹಿತೇ ರತಾಃ. ಕಾಮಕ್ರೋಧ ವಿಯುಕ್ತಾನಾಂ ಯತೀನಾಂ ಯತಚೇತಸಾಂ ಅಭಿತೋ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ನಿರ್ವಾಣಂ ವರ್ತತೆ ವಿದಿತಾತ್ಮನಾ. ಸ್ಪರ್ಶಾನ್ ಕೃತ್ವಾ ಬಹಿರ್ಬಾಹ್ಯಾನ್ ಚಕ್ಷುಶ್ಚೈವಾಂತರೇ ಭ್ರುವೋಃ ಪ್ರಾಣಾಪಾನೌ ಸಮೌ ಕೃತ್ವಾ ನಾಸಾಭ್ಯಂತರಚಾರಿಣೌ ಯತೇಂದ್ರಿಯಮನೋಬುದ್ಧಿಃ ಮುನಿಃ ಮೋಕ್ಷಪರಾಯಣಃ ವಿಗತೇಚ್ಛಾಭಯಕ್ರೋಧೋ ಯಃ ಸದಾ ಮುಕ್ತ ಏವ ಸಃ. ಭೋಕ್ತಾರಂ ಯಜ್ಞತಪಸಾ ಸರ್ವಲೋಕಮಹೇಶ್ವರಂ ಸುಹೃದಂ ಸರ್ವಭೂತಾನಾಂ ಜ್ಞಾತ್ವಾ ಮಾಂ ಶಾಂತಿಮೃಚ್ಛತಿ. तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः.